Well, certainly a game with lots to talk about, a frustrating finish, but probably a game that we can chalk up a little bit to. Sometimes baseball happens. It turned our way last night, didn't turn the Mariners' way this afternoon. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome in to the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. Mariners lose this one in 11 innings this afternoon, 6-4 to the Texas Rangers. They fall to 59 and 53 on the season. Mariners are currently 3.5 back in the AL West. They are a full game up on a playoff spot for the third wild card. They are losing a little bit of ground on Boston, who might even have passed the Yankees for the first wild card. I'm not sure. As always, not as exciting a game as yesterday, but if you can like the video, it helps out a lot. Comment your thoughts on the game and the team down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Welcome to all the new subs as I'm closing in on 5,000. Thank you again to everybody that has done all three. Truly appreciate everybody, even if you're just watching the video. I truly, truly appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, listen, there are things to break down within this game. We can talk about maybe Dan should have gone to Caleb Ferguson over Legumina in the 11th inning there. We can talk about, listen, the Rangers' 4 runs in extra innings was essentially 2 bloop hits each inning that just dropped in. The Mariners certainly had opportunities here in this one. They had bases loaded situations. They fought back. I will give the Mariners credit this one. There was no quit in this team. Merrill Kelly looked like he was going to throw an 8-inning shutout against them, and they scrapped out a couple runs off him to chase him from this game. Had some clutch hits there. Randy with the big home run in the 10th. But there were other moments in the middle there where they maybe could have done something and just couldn't quite get it done. I mean, yesterday you kind of won. I wouldn't call it a miracle being down 1 in the 9th, but a game that didn't look like it was going to be yours. And today you kind of had a 50-50 one, and it went the Rangers' way. If you're a Rangers fan watching this, I mean, I talk all the time about teams that just, go into the Angels for the Mariners, just been brutal. I mean, coming to Seattle has been a house of horrors for the Rangers, and truthfully, playing the Mariners in general this season has been this way. So baseball gods probably deemed them due to win one of these a little bit. Doesn't mean it's not frustrating. Guys, and gals, we have 50 games left, 51, 49, something like that. And every loss is going to be frustrating. It's going to feel brutal. It's going to feel like the one that's going to spiral this season to no end. So, try to take a deep breath on games like this, that they're not going to win the rest of them. Doesn't mean there aren't frustrations, too. There were opportunities to get the W here. I have a hair on my hat that I can't get off. There we go. Had opportunities here today, so certainly frustrating, right? You could look at this game and go, there was a chance to win. It was a winnable game, and the Mariners need to be cashing in on those so they can secure a playoff spot. This would have been huge, right? You win this, you're 3 up on Texas, essentially 4. Now it's back to 1, and you face Jacob deGrom tomorrow. Now, I don't think he's been great recently, but still, that's a tough task. And Logan Evans going for the Mariners, who's pitched better at home, so hopefully he's all right. But and Texas bullpen's depleted too, but the Mariners probably without Spire, Brash, and Bizzardo tomorrow. Going to make it tough, and you'd expect deGrom to probably go deeper into the game than Logan Evans. So, certainly reasons to kind of do the, throw the fist on the table, but all in all, chalk it up to a little bit of baseball. I will say this, the stars have to be better. I've talked about this in sports a lot. I haven't said it too much this year, but your best players have got to step up. Rough day for Cal Raleigh, right? He had the bases lower that bat in the 7th. Now Colomb threw a beautiful, perfect 3-2 pitch. I don't think there's anything you can do about that. But Cal was 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. It wasn't like there was a lot of hard contact foul. It was just a rough day for the dumper. He was bad. He was one of the reasons they did lose this game. I don't want to get on Randy too much. He hits the huge home run in the 10th, but he's got the at-bat in the 7th, bases loaded, 1 out. Talk about it with this team, sack fly, right? Put the ball in play. You don't want to say just in play because it could be a double play, but, a lifted deep fly ball. Maybe they win 3-2. You go to Spire, Brash, Munoz, and you finish this one off and you get a win in this one. Eugenio Suarez was really, really bad today. He had an at-bat there in the 6th with runners at 2nd and 3rd. You go get guys like that to deliver those runs in those situations. Gino's played 3 games here. This is Cal's probably the MVP. Gino's played 3 games. Randy's been amazing. This is not to critique them in terms of these guys think they're great. They are great baseball players. They were not great today. We're talking about today's game. They were a big reason why the team lost the game. They didn't have to play, cute, bunt baseball. If those guys just would have come through in their situations, you probably do win this one. And when you don't do that, and yes, Texas had a few hits in those extra innings that were pull your hair out hits, but you leave yourself susceptible to those things and you put yourself in that position where maybe those innings don't happen if you produce earlier. Now, I think all three guys are going to be fine. Again, Cal's been the best player in baseball, arguably. Randy is the most home runs in baseball since mid-June, and Gino is second in baseball in RBIs and has only played 3 games since coming back to Seattle. So not worried about it. It's just, they've got to be better in those situations. That's why you go get guys. This was a game where those guys, I kind of said already, like, that's why you go get these guys. Obviously, Cal, Randy have been here, but like, if they just kind of do what you brought them in to do, you do win this game. The boost was there, right? Like, it was set up perfectly for them to be the heroes today, and they just couldn't quite, get it done. So, and listen, if you do drop tomorrow, frustrating, but one of the reasons why last night was so huge was because you put yourself in a position where if you do drop the games this weekend, you're not in awful shape. Now, I will say this, like, I am kind of tired of, like, it seems like a lot of these series, could I say like more in that sentence? The Mariners have a chance, foot on the gas, and they take it off a little bit. Not saying that they're not playing hard, but like, there's the like again, a chance to deliver knockout blows, and they haven't done it, right? Like, this is, did I just do it again? I did. Now I'm going to notice nothing else the rest of the video. They had a chance to do that today with a big win and just couldn't come through with it. So that's a little frustrating. The team has their foot on the gas and just can't seem to push through the finish line, or that, not finish line, but I don't know, the knockout blow, boxer that's got them on the ropes, right? They're pummeling them and they just can't deliver the knockout sometimes. So that is a little frustrating, but let's see if they can win the game tomorrow, win a series. That's absolutely fine. I didn't expect them to sweep Texas. So if you can get 3 out of 4 here, you're in good shape. It's just tough pitching matchup tomorrow. Hopefully the Mariners offense steps up. It's good enough. You got the guys to do it. So hopefully they can step up and deliver you a victory. Let's get into the box score here for this afternoon's game. And then I'm going to let everybody go enjoy their weekend. Luis Castillo, 4 1/3 isn't good, but 4 hits, 2 runs, both on the Higashioka home run after a Rowdy Tellez infield hit. 1 walk, 4 Ks. Got to remember, too, the Mariners are coming to the end of another 17-game and 17-day stretch. I think the guys are just a little bit gassed here. It's why I thought they would start Hancock the 3rd game in Sacramento and kind of push everybody back a day. I thought we were going to see that a little bit. They chose not to. I'm not going to throw a fit over it because then you've got Hancock NCAs, which gives you a better chance there. So it's not a big deal, but I thought they might do that. Very glad this team is off Monday. They need an off day to kind of reset, I think, a little bit here. Hopefully they can get the W tomorrow, but Castillo looked a little gassed. I thought didn't look himself, battled through, it'd been great to get him 5 or 6 innings, would have probably saved the bullpen a little bit more, but, certainly not terrible, but you'd like to see better. That 3rd inning, I think it was really rough, through almost 40 pitches, and that, it's going to kill your pitch count. Carlos Vargas with one of his better performances in a while, gets the double play from Seager, has a pretty quick 6th inning. I think that's when that Simeon fly ball dropped in, but he was out at second. Really good to see Vargas there. I think that's a good spot for him. You're down by a run. You're looking for a ground ball double play. He's a ground ball pitcher. Bring him into that situation, and he can get the double play and keep the game going. So good spot there for Vargas. Bizzardo wasn't super sharp. That fly ball that Langford hit had like a 900 expected batting average, and Julio made the catch. Tremendous catch. And then Dom had a pretty nice catch in right field as well. So again, Bizzardo's pitched a lot. Probably a little bit gassed. He'll be down tomorrow. Gabe Spire was outstanding in his shutout inning. Munoz should be good to go tomorrow. He only threw 15 pitches, a clean 9th inning. Matt Brash, kind of an interesting one, threw 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. One of them was earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Both hits, that the Higashioka hit and the Ozuna hit, were parachute jobs. Not all Brash's fault, but I also thought he missed some spots too, where he needed a strikeout and couldn't quite get that slider outside. It hung in the middle zone a little bit, where Higashioka could put bat on ball, put it on play. Don't expect guys to strike out every hitter. Like, the results weren't Brash's fault, but I don't think he was also exceptionally sharp in his outing today either. Still annoying, right? Like, normally balls hit that softly, you're going to get outs on those. So, and that's because Matt Brash is so good that he can still get outs from when he's not on his game. Legumina did deal with a little bit of the same thing. Through a third of an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 K. Jock Peterson's was hit legitimately hard, but it was on the ground. Langford's and I forgot who else hit one. There was a couple parachute. I think Duran, a little bit of a parachute job. Um, you know, I probably should just gone to Caleb Ferguson. Ferguson's been good against righties this year. I'm assuming, and I don't care what managers say in post-game stuff, to be honest. It doesn't matter to me. I can almost guarantee, though, that Dan's comment is going to be, if we go with Ferguson, they're going to pinch hit Haggerty for Peterson. We felt more comfortable with Legumina versus Peterson than Ferguson versus Haggerty. I think that's fair. Haggerty's been a much better player than Peterson. And then it was righties, and it was Langford, Duran, Higashioka. So you're going to be coming up with a lot of right-handed hitters coming up. I think Ferguson's just a better pitcher. He's hasn't had as many struggles as Legumina. I probably just go to Ferguson there. That's why you got him, to hopefully help and extend the bullpen a little bit. Certainly a game where you would look at the deadline and go, maybe they should have added one more arm. Bullpen guys can be weird. Matt Brash was BABIP to death. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that like Griffin Jacks would have gotten out of the inning or anything like that, guaranteed. But definitely a game where the one more bullpen arm could have come into play. But also Castillo didn't go deep into this game, so he had to use a lot of guys, earlier as well. So not too up in arms about the pitching decision. Again, the lineup just had more areas where it could have delivered a little bit more. You guys know I'm not a huge Legumina guy. He's so off and on. I would have gone to Ferguson. You brought him in. He can pitch to righties. Just use him in that spot and see, and then once you get past then yeah, you got to go to Legumina or Coar. There's nothing you can do. So hopefully that will be a different decision next time. Offensively, Maris collects 7 hits, 3 walks, 13 Ks. Really struggled against Merrill Kelly. Finally got to him a little bit in that 6th inning. Then he had a balk. And then Kelly making a weird play trying to get Julio at third. I didn't understand that. Obviously, he didn't know how many outs there were, I would assume. Even with less than 2 outs, though, even with 1 out, I think that's a dumb play because he'd still take the out at first. You're 2 outs, you get the hitter out, inning's over. So unless he thought there were 0 outs, there's no reason to do that. Could just been a brain fart moment. It happens to the best of us. They do get the 2 runs again off Garcia in this one. But just, and it's unfortunate, right? If a couple of those hits, Ozuna's hit doesn't fall in the top half of the 10th, it's probably a walk-off for Randy. But again, it's just sometimes baseball happens to you. Again, if Ranger fans are watching this, probably going, "You kidding me? Have you seen some of the games the Mariners have won against us this year?" So, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes the ball finds the gaps and stuff, and you just don't pull it out. Randy was 2 for 5, base hit, and the home run, number 22 on the year for Randy. That bases loaded at bat in the 7th was tough. Would have loved that home run to be in that at bat. You probably win this way. You almost guarantee you win the game, but sequencing, sometimes it happens. Cal was bad today, no doubt. 0 for 5, 5 strikeouts. That was bad performance. Again, good thing they're off Monday. They need it. Julio was 1 for 5, had the base hit, the double that tied it in the 6th inning there. That was good to see. Naylor was 1 for 5, had the 10th inning single. Gino 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts. Him and Cal. Bad days for those guys, right? Gino had that at bat in the 6th inning. That was your biggest win probability swing, I think, at bat. Well, probably the Randy one in the 7th, but the Gino one was up there. His at bat in the 10th, he swung at ball 4, and that was brutal because then in the 11th inning, it forces you to have Gino run, and then you've got to have Mastroboni, Garver, and Crawford. At least if Gino walks there, even if Mastroboni doesn't get a hit, 1, maybe he bloops one in, you win it. 2, then you at least have Mastroboni running in the 11th, and then you do turn up the lineup over a little bit and maybe get it to Randy to win that game potentially in the 11th. So, just a rough one there, swinging at ball 4 by Gino. He's got to be better, right? That's who he's brought in for. That those at-bats are why you bring a guy like this in, to take advantage and hit the bomb or get the base hits. So, we've seen Ben Williamson get some bloop singles in those situations, and we've seen, sorry, I had to pause the video for a second. We've seen Ben get some, base hits in those spots, and reason bringing Geno's to be better, he's got to come through. He will. Again, 3 games, not worried about it, but, it is one of the reasons that they couldn't pull it out today. Dom was 1 for 3, another base hit off the left. You want to see some slugging coming back from Dom, but he's been fine. Dylan Moore pinch ran, stole a base, and then dropped a fly ball, which didn't end up being very consequential, but you know, if Dylan's not playing defense, they have a stolen base, but if he's not going to play defense, I don't know what. And why is Donovan Solano still on this roster? I mean, just bring up Leody Taveras. I mean, I don't care. Somebody that can do something. What is the purpose that Donovan Solano is serving? He's not pinch hitting, which is fine. I'm not saying he should be playing, but I'm sure they're waiting for like Luke Raley. Their probably assumption is that Raley's back in a week and they're just going to DFA Solano would be my guess. But yeah, I mean, he's not even being used anymore. It's just kind of like, hey, you know what? You're probably going to be DFA in a couple of weeks, man. If you want to just chill with us, hang out and have a brewski, I guess that's what Solano's doing. Polanco pinched hit for Dylan Moore. And you run into a little bit of problems here, right? Because you don't trust Dylan Moore batting anymore, essentially, which is frustrating. It's not frustrating, don't trust him. It's frustrating that they have every right not to trust him. So you have Polanco pinch hit for him, which is absolutely fine. And then you have Mastroboni run for Polanco, which again is absolutely fine. When you go into these deep extra inning games, it's why, again, we talk about the bullpen, but also some people talk about improving the bench a little bit too, right? Some of the names we talk about, Harrison Bader, Austin Slater, Kiner Falefa, whoever it was, right? Not, amazing baseball players, but guys where you run into not having to have Miles Mastroboni take crucial at-bats in baseball games potentially. So, again, just little things, again, I think they had an A deadline. I said A- on Jake's show yesterday. But still some little holes there that even though we love this lineup, staff can be great. Bullpen is solid, just maybe not super deep. You do still run into some pockets of frustration. Garver was 0 for 4 with the walk. JP 1 for 4 with a double. Cole Young quietly another good game, had a base hit. I mean, I guess it was an infield hit there, but also had a walk that set up that bases low. That's the other thing too. When the bottom of the order is setting you up, it's not a bad bottom of the order or anything, but Garver gets a walk. JP, I think, bunted. Cole Young works a walk. It was set up for the top of the order. That's the goal, right? Set it up for Randy, set it up for Cal, Julio, Naylor, Gino. And those guys did not come through. So bottom of the order sets you up. Top of the order's got to deliver. A chance to win a series tomorrow. Nothing I think anybody should be in panic mode about. I will just baseball. It happens sometimes. Sometimes it stinks. It does feel like the Mariners are just so close to like not pulling away, but I don't know, like delivering the knockout blow, and they just always seem to kind of pull it back. It's like, oh, we're going to hold that punch a little bit. And it just has the feel that this thing's coming down to last week. It just has the feel of it. Every time we think, hey, they could get 4 or 5 up here and maybe we clinch a week before. No, it'll come down somehow to the final 2 games of the season. Hopefully the Dodgers are resting people and stuff at that point. But now with only 2 September call-ups, you can't really rest people either at the end of the season. Someone's got to play essentially. So dogs barking like crazy, Amazon stuff getting dropped off. That's my signal to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Channel members, I'll be live tomorrow to do the play-by-play for the final game of the series. We'll hang out, chat up, and talk about the game and talk some ball. So have a great afternoon, night, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.